Welcome back everyone, and thanks for joining me for another episode of my Aston Villa career on FIFA 16. Only 5 games remain in the Premier League with this first season with Aston Villa, and it's all still very tight. Looking for qualification for the Europa League or the Champions League. We can still get there, but we had to make sure that we got maximum points here in our trip to Old Trafford against Manchester United, and I was feeling pretty confident because the reverse fixture, it ended 0-0 way back at the start of the season, back at Villa Park, where we played pretty well, to be fair. We got our shots away, we put their keeper to the test. We were finding holes in their defence, but obviously teams have changed since the January transfer window. You can see that United, they went on a bit of a spending spree. They signed up Christian Eriksen from Tottenham, which I actually did in my United career before I finished that. And they also managed to capture the signing of Aubameyang from Dortmund, who started the game on the bench, which I would have thought they would want to use as much pace as possible for this one against our defence, which has been the best in the league so far this season, which is a nice little accomplishment to take away if we can hold on to that for this first season with Aston Villa. But of course, playing Manchester United at Old Trafford, it was never going to be simple. They dominated this in possession, the amount of shots. It was amazing to see Eriksen, how he's just settled into that number 10 role. He made it his own in this game, and he even assisted into the first goal for Manchester United. It came from Bastian Schweinsteiger in the end. He just hit that first time. Didn't care in the world really, but you can see the movement around and off the ball from players like Eriksen and Mata, who was in space down that right side. But what a finish from Schweinsteiger. And it was a bit of a setback that for Villa, considering our recent form and, of course, as I've already mentioned, our defensive record so far this season. We had to try and dig deep, try and get a goal, get back into this game. It was always going to be difficult, but you could see we broke down this left side with Jordan Ayew. And yeah, I know, I probably should have pulled it back. Probably would have got a better chance on goal if I did, instead of just going for goal. But you could tell I was getting pretty desperate. I wanted to get an equaliser if I could before the break. I didn't want United having that lead over us heading into the second half. And they were looking to double their leads. I think it was Mata that got his shot away. It was hit low and hard. Thankfully, Adrian was in goal for us there instead of Guzan. I think Guzan probably would have let that one in. But you can see a bit of skill here from Jordan Ayew down that left side. We was really taking advantage of that. We was trying to exploit the weakness down United's right side. And Darmian eventually, I think, got annoyed of Ayew, and it was a foolish move to make. He stuck out his foot and conceded the penalty. So, for Aston Villa, it would be Charlie Austin to step up and take going one-on-one with Víctor Valdés in front of the Stretford end as well. Would Austin be able to put Villa back on level terms with Manchester United? Of course he would. He fired it right up into the top left-hand corner. Perfect. Just before the break as well, as you can see, right in the 45th minute. Brilliant. So it was game on in my eyes. Adrian throwing the ball out long to Jordan Ayew, looking down that left side again. Darmian wasn't really putting in much of a performance after he conceded that penalty. I think it kind of knocked his confidence in the second half. And I just went for goal with Stephen Naismith, and I did not expect to be seeing that ball flying to the top right hand corner. What a finish. Absolutely exquisite, and that's what you want from a new signing from January. Someone that's going to come in and get the job done. It's almost like a mercenary. Stephen Naismith filling in for Leroy Fer, and until I can find a proper replacement for that number 10 position. But what a goal. I mean, Víctor Valdés had no chance. He was watching it all the way, but I think he was expecting it to go out for a goal kick, but the ball just dipped so suddenly, it was into the back of the net before he knew it. We had a lot of work to do though, because there was plenty of time for Manchester United to get right back in this, maybe even go and snatch a winner if they worked hard enough. And then this came out of nowhere from Christian Eriksen. It was Wayne Rooney-esque when he played against Newcastle back in, what was it, 2004, 05? Nothing will beat that goal, but I think this goal from Christian Eriksen comes very close, and you'll see it from a different camera angle. This is probably the best one here. You know, Eriksen finding Rooney. It's a nice little 1-2 between all three players. Schweinsteiger in the mix as well, but Eriksen just smacking the ball first time on the outside of his right foot. Unbelievable. So 2 amazing goals, probably goal of the season contenders in this one game. It was certainly bringing things to life things were getting exciting, and we almost got the lead again to make it 3-2 with that effort from Jordan Ayew at the near post from the corner. Just a simple touch, but it was a simple save for Víctor Valdés. And in the end, when the referee had blown the whistle for the final time, it ended all square once again. So both Manchester United and Villa only been able to pick up a point in both games this season against each other. 2-2 then at Old Trafford, certainly a lot more entertaining than the previous fixture back at Villa Park. Now, our next game in the Premier League, we had to keep rolling on. We had Southampton, who are lingering around the relegation zone, and we had to make sure that we got 3 points here, because if United were to drop 3 points in their next game, then we could overtake them. We could get into that Europa League spot / Champions League spot. And thankfully we took the lead when I thought we wasn't going to find a goal in this game, because Southampton was so tightly packed at the back. But the goal came from Charlie Austin from that set piece, that corner. It was brilliant header. I'm not sure what Fraser Foster was doing. He was so far off his line. But we kept piling on the pressure in the second half. Charlie Austin found Jordan Ayew, who found the back of the net. Ayew really breaking out into this team now, as he's coming to replace Scott Sinclair, as I started him in our previous game against Manchester United. A decent performance all around for him in that one, and of course this one against Southampton, because he got his name on the score sheet as well, doubling our lead, which would see us then go on to defeat them and pick up the 3 points. So things are looking really good for us at the moment as we really head into the business end. Only a couple of games remain, and up next we would have the trip down to Watford in search for another 3 points. And you'll see the league table in a minute as it currently stands after that game against Southampton. You know, Manchester United, unfortunately for them, they drop points. They drop out of a European qualification spot. We're up into 5th now, just a point above them. Of course, it's still all to play for, but only 3 games remain. Can we make it? I mean, we could still be fighting for a Champions League spot. We're just a point behind Tottenham. We're a couple of points behind Man City. Anything can happen. It's FIFA, it's football, it's the Premier League. But look at Arsenal and Chelsea. They're the 2 teams in London that are going to be battling out for the league title. I suppose Man City are in with a shout as well. Maybe we could be in with a shout if all them teams were to, of course, drop points. Obviously, I don't see that happening now. But you can see, I was feeling confident after looking at that record that Watford are the worst team in the Premier League with their home form. So we had to take advantage of that. We had to get those 3 points here today, but they were leaving it all out on the pitch. Neon there with a good effort, looking for a goal at the near post, but Adrian didn't even look fazed by the opportunities. He just palmed it out for a corner kick, which we easily defended in the end. And I'm glad that Troy Deeney has now moved away from Watford, because he's caused us a lot of trouble in the past in the West Midlands derbies. He's signed for West Brom now. I think he did score against us though, went in a Watford shirt right at the start of the season. It was an absolute screamer back at Villa Park. I might have to go back and check that just to make sure that that's right. But anyway, we did get our nose in front. We did get the first goal of the game. It did go down as an own goal, but you know what, I'm going to class that as an Adama finish. It was a sliding challenge, and yeah, it did take a massive deflection into the back of the net, but it's Adama. He deserves a goal. I know I haven't started him as much as I'd like to, and I know a lot of you guys have been saying, oh, you should be starting Adama. Well, next season, there's going to be plenty of opportunity. We went 2-0 up with 76 minutes gone. The goal coming from Charlie Austin, who recently was on a 13-game streak of not scoring. And since he scored in that semi-final against Newcastle in the FA Cup at Wembley, he's been unstoppable. He's been scoring goals left, right, centre. What a finish that was on the finesse, coming all the way around the defenders and the goalkeeper. The post did come to his aid, but it was a nice goal nonetheless. Igalo got his side back into the game with just 10 minutes to go. It was really squeaky bum time. But with this free kick, the Watford keeper really messed up big time. Shouldn't have took it short, buddy, as Charlie Austin intercepted it, won it back, and it was an open goal. It was 3-1 to Aston Villa, and that was pretty much the game put to bed. But I wanted more, and it was Adama that got his goal in the end. Yes, the first one may have gone down as an own goal, but he got his goal this time. making it 4-1 to Aston Villa. The fans would certainly go home feeling really happy about this one, this team performance, really confident stuff, and that's a nice finish as well, I think, right up into the roof of the net there from Adama. So another 3 points as we continue our search for European qualification for next season. Can we get it? Join me for the next episode to find out. It will be a bumper episode. It will be the season finale. And don't forget, we're in the FA Cup final as well. I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.